The teasers dropped. The fandom went silent. In an instant, the entire K-pop world was turned upside down.
Oh, absolutely upside down.
Right. A superstar's name dragged into a multi-million-won scam, and a prime suspect who has simply vanished into thin air.
Like completely vanish.
Picture this. Steam rises in a darkened jjimjilbang.
A literal sauna.
Yes. Through the haze, a smartphone screen glows, illuminating a stream of KakaoTalk messages. And these messages, they suggest an incredibly close bond between a legendary singer and her mother.
But the screen is a total lie.
It's all fake. We move away from the humid air of the bathhouse to a stark, cold police desk. Sitting on it is a file stamped in bold red ink. It reads, "Suspended, no signs of life."
Chilling. Just totally chilling.
Welcome to Starscope K-Report. Join Eric and Minji as they ride the Hallyu wave, uncovering the biggest K-pop comebacks, shocking industry controversies, and major K-drama updates.
From internet-breaking rumors to historic chart milestones, we dive deep into the world of Korean entertainment.
So for this deep dive, our mission is to break down a massive, real-life K-drama that is actively unfolding in the headlines right now.
Yeah, and it's a heavy one.
It really is.
Yeah.
We are unpacking the shocking investment fraud allegations against Trot legend Jang Yoon-jung's estranged mother, Miss Yook.
And the horrifying revelation that the police investigation has been completely halted.
Right. We'll explore that, and we'll trace the dark, decade-long family history that set the stage for this absolute betrayal. All of this is drawn from some really extensive reporting by JTBC's case manager, Star News, SBS Star, Pop Sports Chosun, Outlook India, and MK.
It is genuinely a terrifying visual to start with, especially because it captures the absolute whiplash of this ongoing situation.
Totally.
Like, we are looking at a scenario that feels entirely like a mokjang drama script with its extreme plot twists and family betrayals, but it is devastatingly real.
It really is. And, we cannot understate the magnitude of this controversy.
Right.
Trot music is a massive foundational pillar of the Hallyu wave domestically.
Oh, for sure. It crosses generational divides in a way that very few genres do in Korea.
Exactly. So dragging a top-tier, universally beloved artist's name into a scam is the ultimate violation of public trust. K-nets are absolutely reeling right now.
And for good reason. I mean, the audacity of the crime itself is what first caught my eye when JTBC's case manager, they're also known as Sojin Banjang, when they broke this down.
Yeah, MK and Star News corroborated the details too. And the suspect at the center of this is Miss Yook. She's a woman in her 60s. And yes, she is the biological mother of Trot superstar Jang Yoon-jung.
Which just makes it so much worse.
It does. So the narrative kicks off about 2 years ago in a public bathhouse, a jjimjilbang.
Right.
Yook targets a victim identified in the reports as A. And slowly, she convinces this woman to invest 30 million won into what she claimed was a 20 billion won project.
And what makes this so insidious is how specifically she tailored the lie.
Right, she didn't just pitch a random business venture.
Exactly. She explicitly links this supposed project to the massive hit TV audition show, Miss Trot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she leaned in and basically told the victim, hey, if you invest in Miss Trot, which Jang Yoon-jung appeared in, you will make money.
So she weaponized the cultural phenomenon of the show.
Yes. And her daughter's direct association with it, just to create this aura of guaranteed success.
But the way she sold this lie is completely unhinged. To prove that she actually had the inside track and wasn't just, dropping names, Yook claimed she had reconciled with her superstar daughter.
Which we know is false.
Totally false. And to back that up, she essentially put on a one-woman stage play right there in the sauna.
In the sauna.
Yes. She used 2 separate cell phones to fabricate KakaoTalk conversations.
Wait, she texted herself.
She literally texted herself, crafting this elaborate fictional dialogue to make it look like Jang Yoon-jung was actively messaging her about multi-million won investments in intimate family matters.
It is a staggering level of premeditated deception.
It really is.
I mean, think about the setting. She used the physical, relaxing space of the jjimjilbang to build a vulnerable, friendly rapport with this woman.
Right. You're wearing the sauna clothes, eating boiled eggs, your guard is down.
Exactly. And then she introduces this fabricated digital evidence to cement her credibility. She was manufacturing an entire alternate reality where she was this powerful matriarch steering her daughter's career.
And when things started to go south, she didn't just back down. When the victim, A, eventually demanded her money back, because obviously the promised returns never materialized, Yook pivoted her entire character.
What did she do?
She pretended to be a manager for her daughter.
You are kidding me.
No. She made desperate excuses, appealed to emotion, and randomly started dropping names of completely unrelated celebrities.
Like who?
Like Park Na-rae and No Hung-shul.
Wow.
Yeah, just to stall for time. She even sent a message claiming there was a sudden emergency at her daughter's company and frantically asked the victim to deposit more money into another account to solve it.
Which is a classic stall tactic, but supercharged for the entertainment industry. By name-dropping prominent figures like No Hung-chul and Park Na-rae, she creates this smoke screen of chaos. It gives the victim the illusion that they are somehow part of a high-stakes, exclusive inner circle.
Right, like these delays are just the normal growing pains of doing business with the K-pop elite.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's unpack this for a second. I have to push back here.
Sure.
How does someone just hand over 30 million won in a sauna to a stranger?
Right. It sounds wild.
I mean, I don't care if you claim to be Jungkook's mom. My critical thinking kicks in way before I hand over that kind of cash. It just feels like a massive leap to make.
It does sound unbelievable from the outside. I totally get that. But we have to remember, she didn't just steal money. She hijacked the Hallyu emotional economy.
Oh, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, in K-pop and the Trot world, fans protect their biases fiercely. They feel a deep parasocial bond.
Right, the fandom culture is intense.
Exactly. And Trot artists like Jang Yoon-jung, they are deeply ingrained in the cultural fabric of South Korea. They represent filial piety, hard work, warmth.
So her name holds immense weight.
Huge weight. Yook exploited that intense parasocial trust. She knew that associating the investment with her daughter and showing, quote-unquote, proof of a loving mother-daughter reconciliation would completely short-circuit the victim's critical thinking.
Oh, wow. So it wasn't just a financial investment for the victim.
Not at all.
It was an emotional investment in the idea of being close to a superstar, of being part of this heartwarming family reunion narrative.
Exactly that. She weaponized her daughter's pristine reputation. It's a calculated abuse of the very affection that makes the Hallyu wave so powerful.
Man. But that weaponized trust is exactly what makes the police's discovery so chilling. Because when the victim finally broke out of that parasocial trance and went to the authorities,
The trail had already gone completely cold.
completely cold. And that is not even the wildest part of this story. Because when the victim's daughter finally went to the police, the authorities hit a terrifying dead end. We'll get into that right after this. If you love staying updated on your favorites, make sure you're subscribed to Starscope K-Report. We've got even bigger scoops ahead.
So getting back to the investigation, based on the reports from SBS Star and Sports Chosun, when the victim's daughter finally reported the fraud to the police in April, the authorities made a grim discovery almost immediately.
What was it?
Another victim had already filed a similar criminal complaint against Mrs. Yook.
No way.
Yeah, detailing the exact same modus operandi.
So 2 separate cases.
2 cases, same sauna strategy, same fabricated KakaoTalks.
But as of right now, the investigation is completely frozen.
Frozen solid.
When lawyer Park Ji-hoon broke this down on the JTBC Case Manager broadcast, he revealed that the police have hit an absolute wall because there are, quote, no signs of life.
No signs of life. When you are reading a police file about a fraud suspect, that is an incredibly ominous phrase.
It sent a literal chill down my spine. Lawyer Park explained the mechanics of what that phrase actually means in a legal and investigative context.
Right, what did he say?
Basically, Yook has absolutely no cell phone usage records and 0 credit card transactions 3 consecutive months.
Wow.
Yeah, she is officially entirely missing.
Which is an astonishing feat in modern South Korea.
Truly.
As the lawyer pointed out, stepping completely off the grid without using your name or your digital identity is incredibly hard.
There are cameras everywhere.
Everywhere. This isn't an idol taking a quiet hiatus from social media. This is a complete and total disappearance.
Yeah.
It raises some incredibly dark possibilities. Like, is she hiding under a highly sophisticated false identity? Or, as the lawyer ominously suggested on air, has she passed away?
Which brings in a crucial piece of context we found in the SBS Star and Sports Chosun sources.
Yeah.
Yook has a documented criminal history.
Right. This isn't her first offense.
Not at all. She was arrested for fraud and sentenced to prison back in 2018. However, she was released on parole in December of that same year
Why was she paroled so quickly?
because she was diagnosed with terminal liver cancer.
That completely changes the complexion of her disappearance.
It really does.
We are talking about a woman in her 60s with a documented history of terminal illness, vanishing without a trace for a quarter of a year.
Yeah, it adds an intense, true crime level of urgency to this case.
Exactly. That is precisely why the case manager broadcast was actively pleading with anyone who has knowledge of her whereabouts to report it to the police immediately. The clock is ticking in a very real way.
Absolutely. And what Star News and Pop uncovered about how Jang Yoon-jung's agency handled this is fascinating. Her agency, TN Entertainment, immediately issued a firm, unequivocal statement drawing a hard line.
They had to act fast.
They did. They clarified that Jang Yoon-jung has not had any direct contact with her mother in over a decade.
It was a vital boundary to establish publicly, severing any perceived connection between the artist and the crime.
The agency rep stated that Yook had actually recently tried to reach out to Jang through acquaintances.
Really?
Yeah, she would say things like, "I need to deliver something to Yoon-jung." But Jang completely ignored every single attempt.
Good for her.
She refused to respond, refused to open the door even an inch. And the agency made it crystal clear that all the text messages and investment stories Yook spun in the sauna are completely groundless lies.
And this is where we see the beautiful side of fandom culture.
Yes.
Because usually Knets can be so harsh when a family member messes up. Guilt by association is a real thing in the industry.
Oh, absolutely. Can ruin a comeback.
But here, both domestic Knets and international fans are fiercely defending Jang Yoon-jung. There is no backlash against her. They see her as the ultimate victim in this scenario.
The consensus across forums is that Jang only stepped forward and allowed her agency to release this statement for one reason.
To protect people.
Exactly, to prevent more innocent people from being scammed by her mother. She broke a decade of carefully maintained silence solely to protect the public.
It really highlights the tragedy of her position. She has to constantly defend her own hard-earned legacy against the person who gave her life. It's a burden no artist should have to bear.
It's heartbreaking. Later in the deep dive, we'll talk about the shocking plot twist in this family drama that nobody saw coming. To understand why Jang Yoon-jung was so quick to cut ties, we have to go back to the betrayal that started it all. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss a KT update, because the drama in the K-entertainment world truly never sleeps.
So, to truly comprehend the gravity of Jang Yoon-jung's estrangement, we have to look back to a defining moment in 2013.
Right?
This wasn't just a quiet family dispute that leaked to the press.
Right.
It was a highly public, deeply traumatic fracture that shook the entire industry.
Let's wind the clock back. It's May 2013. Jang Yoon-jung is preparing for a joyous milestone, her wedding to Do Kung-won.
A huge moment for her.
But right before the wedding, she appears on SBS's variety show Healing Camp, and she reveals a literal nightmare scenario.
According to the reports from Star News and Pop, Jang disclosed that while she was sorting out her parents' divorce proceedings, she decided to check her own finances.
Which makes sense.
Yeah. And for a decade, she had placed total trust in her mother and her younger brother to manage her income.
And what did she find?
She discovered that her entire 10-year fortune was simply gone.
Completely squandered.
Oh.
And we aren't talking about a small amount of money here. We really have to explain her status at the time.
Right. She wasn't just a mid-tier idol.
No, Jang Yoon-jung was universally known in the industry as a walking small-medium enterprise.
That nickname is wild.
They gave it to her because her event schedule was so grueling and her popularity so immense that she alone was generating the revenue of an entire mid-sized corporation.
Wow.
She was performing multiple shows a day, traveling across provinces, exhausted, just bringing in cash. And yet, she woke up to find not just a zero balance, but 1 billion won in debt.
1 billion won in debt after 10 years of nonstop labor. It's unfathomable.
It makes me sick just thinking about it.
Her mother had reportedly taken the money Jang earned and funneled it as startup capital for her younger brother's business ventures.
The classic toxic dynamic.
Exactly. The younger brother acted as the ultimate toxic Machnai of the family, draining the resources of his hardworking older sister, while the mother just completely enabled and executed the financial drain.
But the truly wild part is what happened when she confronted them. Because instead of apologizing, the retaliation from her mother and brother was insane.
Unbelievable.
According to the Outlook India and Sports Chosen sources, Yook and the brother actually went on television programs like Park Jung-jin's Fast and Furious and brazenly claimed they didn't squander the money.
Wait, what was their excuse?
Yook literally looked into the camera and claimed their living expenses over 10 years were $1.8 billion. billion won.
What? Claiming 1.8 billion won for basic living expenses is a staggering justification for draining someone's life savings.
It makes no sense.
But the media manipulation didn't stop at just television interviews. Yook launched a coordinated attack.
She did.
She sent direct emails to news outlets, actively trying to frame Jang Yoon-jung as an unfilial daughter, which, as you know, in Korean culture is one of the most damaging labels you can pin on someone.
It's career-ending if people believe it.
Exactly. She even raised allegations that Jang had tried to forcibly admit her to a psychiatric hospital, claims that lacked any supporting evidence but sparked a massive damaging controversy.
It was an all-out assault on her own daughter's character. The legal battles were intense. Yook even sued Jang's former agency, Inwoo Production, for 700 million won.
On what grounds?
She argued that because she managed the money, she somehow owned it.
That is not how money works.
Right. The court, thankfully, ruled against her, stating clearly that managing funds does not grant ownership. Jang also had to take the agonizing step of suing her own brother to get some of the loaned money back.
Did she win?
She won a partial victory and recovered around 320 million won.
Which is something, but still, I really want to focus on the psychological toll of this because this wasn't just about money anymore.
Not at all.
Imagine being pregnant, a time of new life, trying to start a new family with your husband, and your own mother is actively trying to destroy your peace of mind and your career.
That's exactly what she faced. When news of Jang Yoon-jung's pregnancy spread, there were no congratulations from her mother.
Of course not.
According to the Chosun report, Yook actually hired anti-bloggers to systematically attack her own daughter online.
Hiring anti-fans against your own kid.
It's so dark. She published letters viciously attacking her son-in-law. And then she crossed a line that is hard to even comprehend. She posted bizarre, horrifying photos of a Cheondo ritual online.
We really need to explain what that means because it is essentially psychological terrorism.
Yeah, break that down for us.
So a Cheondo ritual is a specific shamanic rite performed to guide the souls of the deceased to paradise.
The deceased.
Right. To perform a ritual meant for the dead and publicly claim you are doing it to pray for the well-being of your living, pregnant daughter and your unborn grandson is deeply disturbing.
It's sickening.
It's not just a public stunt. It is a deeply rooted cultural death threat dressed up as a prayer. It's an aggressive, symbolic act of severing ties, framed as a curse.
It's pure psychological warfare. Knowing that context, it is no wonder Jang Yoon-jung had to get a 100-meter restraining order against her own mother.
She had to protect her baby.
Exactly. And this horrific history makes the current fraud allegations in the jjimjilbang even more egregious. Let's trace the timeline here.
Let's do it.
She destroys her daughter's finances in 2013, wages a public war against her, goes to prison in 2018 for scamming $415 million, won from acquaintances, gets paroled for terminal cancer.
And what does she do?
She allegedly goes straight to a sauna and starts scamming again, using the very daughter she tried to ruin as bait.
It demonstrates a relentless cycle of exploitation. It shows a complete disregard for the legal boundaries set by the courts and the personal boundaries set by a decade of silence.
Truly.
Yook weaponized the one thing Jang Yoon-jung has worked tirelessly to rebuild and protect over the last 10 years. Her pristine public image.
Right. If you've ever defended your ultimate bias online, you know the instinct to protect them from malicious rumors or harsh industry critics. Now imagine that the greatest threat to your bias isn't an anti-fan or a rival agency, but their own family. Why does this deeply personal tragedy matter to you, the listener, as a fan and observer of the culture?
Because it serves as a stark, sobering reminder of the dark reality that often exists behind the glittering facade of the Hallyu Wave.
Yeah.
We see these idols and artists achieving a perfect all-kill on the charts, flashing brilliant smiles on variety shows, and living in luxury. We assume their success insulates them from the mundane, or in this case, the tragic realities of life.
But behind the flawless visuals and the perfectly choreographed comebacks, these artists are just real people.
They really are.
And sometimes they have to fiercely protect themselves from the very people who brought them into the world. It completely redefines what it means to be a successful idol. Success for Jang Yoon-jung isn't just about record sales or sold-out concerts anymore.
No, it's about survival.
Exactly. It's about the incredible resilience it takes to survive your own family, to set unbreakable boundaries, and to build a joyful life in spite of them.
And that resilience is precisely why the public and her fans stand so firmly behind her today. The parasocial relationship, which Yook cynically tried to exploit for fraud, is also what provides a massive shield of support for Jang Yoon-jung. The fans see the human being behind the superstar, and they recognize the profound injustice she has endured for over a decade.
Which brings us to a final, lingering thought for you to mull over as we wait for updates on this case. We live in a hyper-connected, modern country. In South Korea, CCTV is on nearly every street corner.
Everywhere you look.
Right. Every subway swipe is logged, every credit card transaction is tracked, every cell phone ping leaves a digital footprint. It is incredibly, almost impossibly difficult to live off the grid.
Right.
So how does a 60-year-old woman with a highly recognizable face, a documented criminal history, and a terminal illness completely vanish without a single trace for 3 months?
It's the biggest question.
Are we looking at a masterful, calculated escape by a seasoned con artist pulling one last trick? Or are we looking at a tragic, quiet end to a deeply tumultuous life in the shadows?
It's an unsettling question, and one that the police are currently racing to answer. Until the no signs of life status on that police file changes, the silence will only grow louder and the mystery will only deepen.
You've been listening to Starscope K-Report, where Eric and Minji bring you the stories shaping K-pop, K-dramas, and the global Hallyu wave. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.